Hi there. Today's conversation is basically about focus. Whatever you focus on most, you bring closest to you. I was working with a client just the other day when they were talking about they were depressed and they couldn't seem to shake it. The more they thought about it, the larger and more bolder and more controlled the depression seemed to be. I asked the question of, well, what else did you think about? And they didn't really have an answer because they were intently focused on why they were depressed. What made them depressed? They externalized their control. What that means is they were in a situation where they turned their control over to someone else who didn't necessarily have their best interest at heart. By doing that, they gave away their power. They gave away their ability to control what happens to them because they based what they were doing on what somebody else thought they should do. Well, after the conversation progressed a little further, I simply asked this question. Let's say, for about 30 seconds, you think about riding a roller coaster. Any roller coaster will do. Just imagine yourself standing in line, a really long line, for a really long time, till you finally get up to the roller coaster. You finally get on it, and then you imagine yourself on the ride. Throw your hands up in the air, scream, ah! Take one of those crazy pictures that they do when you get on roller coasters now so they can sell you something else that you don't really need. And visualize it as though you were there. The reason why I used roller coaster as an example is because this particular person really loved riding roller coasters. After we kind of went through that, I asked them, how do you feel about your depression now? And they said that while they were thinking about the roller coaster, the depression didn't matter. So stop and think about that for a second. If you could stop and think about something else for 30 seconds, does it really matter what's bothering you? Does it really matter what's got you upset when you're in full control? Okay, let's make it more rational and realistic. Somebody irritates you, and you want to use the closest thing that you can grab and beat them about the head and neck. No, we're not suggesting that. I'm just talking about that as a feeling. And then the phone rings. And it's that person you've been waiting to hear from for a long time. That one person that you really struggled to get to call you finally does. Are you even giving that person that upsets you one bit of thought? Nope, not at all. Because you want to get on the phone and have that conversation. It's that easy for you to take control of your thoughts and focus on something else. So, this being part of the motivation series, we're going to say focus equals results. Let's see. How can that really play out? If we focus on what our result is, we can shut out all the stuff that stops us from getting there. Over time, practice, repetition, there will be very few things that can interrupt us on the path to what it is we want. Today, let today be that day that you change your focus and that you start to zero in on those things that you really want out of life. Thanks.